Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos a Milenio Tech. Me da mucho gusto saludarlos y no se despeguen si quieren conocer mucho del mundo de los geeks, porque esta semana vamos a hablar de computadoras. Tenemos una entrevista en el evento de lanzamiento de la nueva ASUS ZenBook Duo. Ya se las presentamos aquí, pero platicaremos con el encargado de todas las relaciones públicas técnicas de ASUS para que nos cuente más acerca de esta increíble computadora y por qué es tan importante el procesador Intel Ultra. Todo eso en un momento. Y también, si ustedes han utilizado Waze, sí, Waze, la famosa aplicación de navegación para evitar el tránsito, una entrevista con su cofundador que nos habla acerca de qué tan difícil es hoy en día emprender una nueva compañía, una startup. Una increíble entrevista con el cofundador de Waze, Uriel Levine, acerca de su libro No te enamores de la solución, sino del problema. Todo eso en un momento, pero comenzamos con algunas de las noticias más importantes de esta semana. Pues por fin Apple ya dio a conocer cuándo llega el WWDC, este evento anual en el cual presentan todas sus innovaciones acerca de sistemas operativos, todo lo que tiene que ver con sus desarrolladores. Será del 10 al 14 de junio cuando Apple devele lo nuevo en sistemas para Apple, para Mac, para iPhone, para iPad, para absolutamente todo. Ojo, se espera que iOS 18 se convierta en el sistema operativo más revolucionario de Apple, tanto para iPhone como para iPad, y es que la inteligencia artificial tendrá un papel fundamental en nuestro sistema operativo. ¿De quién vendrá esta inteligencia artificial? Porque no la pudo desarrollar Apple. Bueno, todo eso lo sabremos ya el 10 de junio cuando comience este WWDC, que ya se nos cuecen las habas por ver qué es lo que tenemos de Apple. Hoy tenemos una entrevista muy especial que me da mucho gusto presentarla. Y si ustedes han estado atorados en el tránsito de esta ciudad o de cualquier otra ciudad y han utilizado Waze, créanme, conocen a esta persona de una u otra manera. Thank you very much, Uriel Levine. I was telling them that maybe if the people who are seeing us has been stuck in the traffic, they know something that you make a long time ago. Thank you, Yuri. You are one of the co-founders of Waze, I think one of the most useful apps around the world. So thank you much for your time. But now you have this great book, Fall in Love with the Problem, not the Solution. Enamórate del problema, no de la solución. And a lot of people have saying that this is the Bible for the startups. And one of those people is Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple. So what do you think the people what's going to say after they read it?
So what I heard a lot of people saying that it's changed their life, right? So this is a book that creates an impact, that increases their likelihood of being successful. And it tells the real story about the entrepreneurship, right? So it's taking all of my know-how from the successful and the unsuccessful startups that I had throughout the journeys and try to bake them into a single book that essentially going to help entrepreneurs and business people to become more successful. Now, people know me as an entrepreneur, right? And I'm definitely an entrepreneur, but I'm also a teacher. So I feel equally rewarded if I build stuff myself or I guide someone to build it. And the book is fulfilling my destiny as a teacher to share my know-how with all the entrepreneurs in the world and help them to become more successful.
Sometimes you say something very important. They say that for a great success, you have to have a great failure. What do you think about this? That most of the people, they don't want to fail. And I think that you have to fail to be successful.
So you don't need great failures, you just need a lot of them. There is a Japanese saying, say that fall 8 times, fall 7 times and get up 8. In a startup journey is I can describe that in 3 different dimensions. The first one is that this is a roller coaster journey with ups and downs and ups and downs, and more than any other business in the world. The second one is that this is going to be a journey of failures. So we're trying to build something new that no one did before. And even though that we think exactly what we are doing, the reality is that we don't. So we try. We try one thing and it doesn't work. We try another thing and it doesn't work. Keep on trying different things until we find one thing that does work. Now, if you realize that this is going to be a journey of failure, then there are 2 immediate conclusions. The first one is that if you're afraid to fail, in reality, you already failed because you're not going to try. Albert Einstein used to say that if you haven't failed, that's because you haven't tried new things before. The second one is that you have to fail fast. Because when you fail fast, you still have plenty of time to try another approach, make another attempt, build another version of the product, try another go-to-market strategy, and so forth. And the more attempts that you have, you simply increase the likelihood of being successful. So at the end of the day, the biggest enemy of good enough is perfect. You don't need to be perfect in order to be successful. Now, for a second, I want us to imagine two twin sisters companies, right? They started exactly the same day. They're building exactly the same product. They're making exactly the same progress until one day this company A is saying our product is not good enough. We need to keep on building it. And company B is saying our product is not good enough, but we are going to go to the market with it. From this point on, company B is making way faster progress because they have feedback from the market. And this is what's going to make them more successful.
Yeah, of course. When you came with this idea with your partners about Waze, for example, and you say this in the book, it was something that it was already there. I mean, the problem was there. The transit, the people asking how is going to be my commute in my car from point A for point B. But you and your team and your partners say, hey, we have a solution for that problem. How difficult was to build this kind of app like Waze to make things successful, and how was the big failure to make it successful?
Companies become successful once they figure out product market fit. And product market fit basically means that we create value to our customers. Now, in reality, if you don't figure out product market fit, you will die, as simple as that. You never heard of a company that did not figure out product market fit. Now, if you think of companies that did, and for a second, I want us to think of all the applications that you're using every day, right? From searching Google, using Waze, WhatsApp, Instagram, Netflix, Uber, whatever it is, and ask yourself, what is the difference between any of those today and the first time that you have used that? And the answer is that there is no difference. We are searching Google today the same way that we searched Google for the first time in our life. We're using Waze the same way that we used Waze for the first time in our life. What we don't know is how long did it take them from the journey that they started until they figure out product market fit. Because beforehand, we never heard their name. Once they did figure out product market fit, they don't change them. It's a matter of years. For Waze, it was 4 years. For Microsoft, it was 5 years. For Netflix, it was 10 years, right? So very successful companies, and it was a long journey for them. Now, if you'll tell me, oh, no, ChatGPT is overnight. They are 7 years old, right? And we only heard about them last year, right? So it takes time to create value.
So just to finish, what do you say to all the people that maybe is looking to this interview, maybe they're interested in buying this book, and why they need to read this book and why they need to fall in love with the problem? You said that this is like in any romantic relationship, the business relationship. So why they have to fall in love, and how not to be afraid of the divorce?
You are not afraid of the divorce, right? At the end of the day, you fall in love and you go into those relationships without the fear of that eventually it might end up unsuccessfully, right? And we do know that today, in some parts of the world, most of the relationship will end up to be unsuccessful. But in generally speaking, I would say, and I think that I heard someone told me that this book is going to be the best return on investment that you ever made. Not just buying it, reading it. And this is going to help you to become more successful. And if this is the case, then I would encourage people to read it.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much, Yuri. I think that you make one of the most important changes in the way that the people can go and avoid traffic. So thank you very much for that. So thank you very much for making this book, because it changed your life after you read it. And I'm very pleased to have you here. Thank you very much, Yuri Online, co-founder of Waze, and now a great writer, a teacher, falling in love with the problem, not the solution. Thank you very much, Yuri.
Gracias.
Esta vez estoy súper contento de estar en búsqueda de lo increíble, sí, porque esta computadora es increíble. Alexis Pimentel, que es el Technical PR de ASUS en México, un amigo ya de la casa, Ya vimos esta increíble computadora, ya le puse las manos encima, pero cuéntame un poco más de qué se trata esta increíble ZenBook Duo 14 OLED. ¿Por qué tener una computadora con 2 pantallas completas? Alexis, muchas gracias.
No, de qué, gracias a ti por venir a nuestro evento de lanzamiento. Pues, ¿por qué? Pues simplemente 2 pantallas son mejor que una, ¿no? 2 pantallas son
Pero el
mejor que una.
tamaño es impresionante. Ahora, lo que me gusta es que justamente puedes tener estas 2 pantallas con el teclado inalámbrico, ponerle el teclado y se convierte en una laptop un poco más convencional. Pero para productividad, ¿para quién está dirigida esta computadora?
Pues ahora sí que para profesionistas, ¿no? Para oficinistas, para gente que está en movimiento en todos lados. Si tienes una presentación con un cliente, pues vas a poder presentar tus cosas de una manera mucho más fácil, más eficiente. Tu área de trabajo vas a poder trabajar en donde quieras con 2 pantallas, ¿no? Puedes tener 2 archivos abiertos al mismo tiempo mientras los ves.
Para edición de audio, de video, de fotografía se ve increíble, pero hay algo importante de estas computadoras y es el procesador. Tenemos un procesador Intel Ultra, que eso es muy novedoso, y además esta certificación Evo, que básicamente es que tiene que ser ligera, que tiene que ser muy potente. ¿De qué se trata esto de Evo? ¿De qué se trata que tenga un procesador de estas características de Intel?
Sí, bueno, ahora sí que la certificación Intel Evo, ahorita ya se utiliza Intel Evo Edition, es como lo está manejando Intel. Son laptops que son muy rápidas, con unas prestaciones muy altas, y los nuevos procesadores de Intel Core Ultra traen una unidad de procesamiento neural que sirve para inteligencia artificial. Entonces, si tú quieres generar imágenes desde texto, lo vas a poder hacer sin ningún problema en esta computadora de manera local.
Sí, claro, lo haces dentro del procesador. No nos conectamos al internet, a la nube, sino es dentro del procesador, es de manera local. Oye, Alexis, para ir terminando, esta computadora ya la encontramos en México. ¿En cuánto anda? Además, importante, las 2 pantallas son touch, viene con un lápiz óptico. ¿Qué nos puedes decir de esto?
Sí, el precio es de $54,999. Podrás decir, pues es que es un poco alto, pero este equipo tiene lo mejor de lo mejor, ¿no? Además de 2 pantallas.
Muy bien, pues muchísimas gracias, Alexis Pimentel, el Technical PR de ASUS en México. Y con esto, ¿qué les parece si despedimos este Milenio Tech? Y recuerden, cualquier duda, sugerencia, lo que quieran ver en este programa, nos puede hacer llegar vía redes sociales en @Santillanes, @Milenio. Y lo mejor de todo está en milenio.com. Me despido y nos vemos muy pronto con más de todo esto, con más del mundo de los geeks. A ver, presta.